interesting ideas about combining pictures and knowledge and all. It won't work
You
today.
always have to fall back, huh?
Oh yeah, I can talk. Don't worry. But this, yeah, okay. So the S that you find around the place is to remind you of some Dutch tradition. We just had our big party with Santa Claus on the 5th of December. And these are sort of to all make you into Santa Claus and give you a chance to speak up just like he does. Anyhow, eat it when you drink your coffee. It's nice, it's chocolate. Well, why did we organize this workshop? I think Ton already gave us enough ideas about the combination of different knowledge, etc., etc. But it's also because I think ICTs nowadays are sort of the hub. It's also a magic word has become a magic word in development. Combination of ICT and development sort of pops up in all NGO programs, policy circles, and there's a high expectation of what will happen in the future, because the world is moving forward. We will all be part of an information society. Okay, that's nice. There's also quite some reports now appearing that, especially, like Ton already said, introduce the economic way forward with ICTs. A recent UN report labeled Information Economy Report 2010, ICTs, Enterprises and Poverty Alleviation. And one of the key sentences there is, improved access to ICT leads to poverty reduction. Well, that's a big word and a good sentence to open a report with. But it's something that we have to discuss, because others, like Donner and Aker, other authors, recent studies, they say that, okay, it's nice that we have all these expectations, but do we have the empirical proof for it? Do we know what is happening? So I think before we jump on the information technology bandwagon, as they call it, we have to step back and look what is happening. And it's happening at this moment. For academia, that's very interesting because we are sort of in a laboratory. But it is happening, and let's not conclude before we know what is happening. So that's also why we are here together, to share experience, to share ideas, and to get to also know each other's ideas about this, and maybe here and there change each other's opinions and change attitudes in the field. Of course, we are focusing on Africa. Why is that so? And is there this reason to especially focus on Africa? I think that there are these clear assumptions about Africa, and Ton already mentions them. Africa lags behind. It needs development. I don't know if that's really true. Let's also go into that question, see if that is what is the case. But of course, you know, there's a lot of work done in the quantitative realm. So there's a lot of statistics about what is happening. And let us keep to this mobile phone and see how the world is sort of moving. This is an interesting figure I found from the ITU. It's this big International Telecommunication Union. They publish statistics every year. So you see what is happening. The developing world is catching up. It's them who embrace the mobile phones. And then I had a second one. Yeah. But in Africa, it's the least again. So it's sort of, okay, fine, so Africa still needs to be developed, and we will do that. That's what these statistics tell us in a way. And then the recent development is broadband. And also there you see that the developed world, the blue, or the developing, there's a big gap. And again, this gap is shown especially for Africa. So maybe that's one of the reasons we also have to, or we should sort of consider these Africa, and also realize that within Africa the differences are enormous. Statistics are always sort of hiding a lot of the diversity. And I think that's where it becomes interesting. This map shows us a sort of ICT division over Africa. You see that South Africa is really well connected. Other countries are less connected. From some countries we don't know. Those are the grey parts on the map. Then there's another, one of those statistics is telling us that the relative price for ICT services is highest in Africa. So people spend most, relatively spoken, most of their money on ICTs in Africa and basically mobile phones. But Africa is the, again statistics, is the region with the lowest income level. So you see all these kind of images that pop up.